Looks like we're ready for the speed run of Shadow of the Colossus 2018 by Church Neo. Take it away.
My name is Church Neo, and this is Shadow of the Colossus 2018 version. This is a remake of the PS2 Classic, and there are a few differences between that version and this version. So hopefully the couch behind me here, they can go ahead and explain those differences to you. And basically, we're gonna do normal time attack, and once you beat the game, you can actually have access to these statues here. And all you need to do is kneel at them, and you actually have all the individual levels available to you. So Boss Rush slash NTA, we're just gonna go ahead and run through all of them in a row. And if my couch actually would be so kind as to introduce themselves.
Yep, so I'm Foxy Cleopatra. I'm a fellow runner of this game. I focus also on Boss Rush slash NTA, but I also run a lot of other categories. So
I am Grand Spaghetti.
And I'm Viva Toliver.
And at the end of here, who actually doesn't have a mic, we have Zero Blade Edge. Yeah. So, yeah, looks like we're ready to go.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and count it down if everyone's ready. All right, so 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, good luck, church man.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so first up we have our first Colossus Valis. Simplest Colossus overall, but we like to call him the silent killer just because messing up on him just kind of can screw you up for the rest of the run. But first thing we're gonna focus on is that each Colossi has, or most Colossi have a weak point and then a major set of sigils that you actually use to kill the Colossus. So we wanna skip the intended route for Valis simply by hitting his weak point twice, getting him to come over in this cutscene, and then instead of going up the normal intended route, we just kind of just run around in the cutscene and jump on his face.
Exactly.
So, yep. So we're gonna stab him 3 times. That's all he takes to kill his sigil, and we're gonna get 2 full charge stabs, as you can see with the stamina bar on the bottom right of the HUD.
Oh no!
Oh, it's all right though. It's an easy way. It's easy way to recover. Just repeat the process. And so what should have happened there? Sadly, he didn't get what's called a plant, which is basically locking yourself in place on the Colossus at a certain sigil. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's nice to get on Valis, although not getting it is actually faster. The last thing we'll be doing here is a jump stab. And so a jump stab is simply, instead of actually holding on the Colossus and charging up a stab to do some damage, you'll just jump in the air and stab from there. And the nice thing about it is that it does a full, well, we're not doing the jump stab now, I'm just making sure we go ahead and kill him. Just get him done. But
yeah, I originally went for the jump stab and I messed it up, so that's why I flew off of his head like that.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, physics in this game can kind of just throw you based on where you're jumping and those sorts of things. So it's not bad, but we got Valis down, and next up is Quad.
Yeah, we can probably get a quick donation.
Thank you. We've got $50 from Plush saying, Church is a nice guy, so are the lads on the couch. That
Awesome.
said, Bible thumps in chat for the 16 Colossi minding their own business. We're about to be bullied. Feels bad, man. I'll be watching Twitch chat for those Bible thumps, okay?
There we go. Yeah, Plush, ran this game in SGGQ 2017. He's a great runner and is a great mentor to most of us that are new in the community. So really great to hear from him, and a sweet donation.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
call him
Flash.
Grandpa. He's the expert.
He's an old man.
All right, so this right here is Quadratus. The way that you get at this Colossus is essentially you just shoot the weak point underneath its foot. And it'll get onto its side. There's 2 different strats that you could do, actually. There's front leg and back leg. Church likes to do back leg. There's almost no difference in terms of time spent doing it. And then he's gonna go up his back leg and then get to the first sigil that's on his back. So what he's going to attempt here right now are cycle stabs. So when you stab a Colossus, usually what happens is that when you stab him, you have to wait for the pull-out animation to go through. Fantastic cycle stabs, by the way. So what the cycle stab is you're actually able to cancel the pull-out animation. And so you're able to immediately let go and then stab again without having to wait for that animation. Really fast, saves a lot of time, very optimal.
Good plant.
And yeah, right here he got a plant, so you can see Quadratus is shaking around, and usually what'll happen is Quadratus will shake you off and he can't stab.
Yep.
But as you can see, he could stab.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the nice thing about And so, like Spaghetti said, with the plant there, some colossi have very specific points to where you can get a plant. With Quad, it's right behind, it's right in between that like middle rind in his head and kind of the small horn. And you also saw there that the sigil, he didn't actually stab the sigil. The sigils are sometimes very generous with like what actual areas they cover, and you'll see that in kind of greater exception in I believe the 5th colossi. So.
Exactly. Some sigils have a very, very large hitbox, while others are
tight.
very honest.
Yeah,
I'd have to
very
say.
honest. Yeah. Yep.
Too honest sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep. So next up, we have Gaius. Certainly,
This is the one you want to watch.
yeah, this is the one you definitely want to stick around for. It's a fun Colossus. This is the coolest trick, at least I think, and I think most of the people think in the RUD, but it's definitely a hard trick to get. Very different from the PS2 version. So Church is going to start off by getting some simple arrow shots into his belly where a sigil is actually located to try and mitigate as many stabs that we need as the final sigil on Gaius, as he only has 2. So we're going to wait for his sword launch to come down and strike, and then I'm just going to let this speak for itself as he gets this done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, super cool trick. It just makes learning the game just an absolute like joy, basically, to watch yourself just fly through the air like Michael Jordan in Space Jam sort of deal. So, yeah. So we're at the first sigil on Gaius. Sadly, didn't get the plant on the back of his head.
It's fine.
It's fine. You can recover from it. Generally, as long as you get the necessary amount of stabs, you get the cycle that you need.
He also got a plant there.
Yeah, so he recovered from it pretty well. We'll explain plant recovery later, but what he's looking for here is this head rear back to get get Gaius stuck in a certain animation, so you can simply walk up his belly instead of it's weird to climb up it when he's just completely vertical and standing up.
Exactly.
And if he's walking around, you get shaken really easily. So he got another plant here. Cycle stabs work pretty well, but overall, great Gaius. So yeah, 117 is a good time. Yep. Yeah. We've got time for a quick donation.
First of all, I'd like to confirm all of the Bible thumps in Twitch chat. You guys had one job and you delivered. Thank you.
Yeah.
Following up, we have a $1,000 donation
Yeah.
There we go.
Love to hear that.
from Epic Name, saying Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games. Thanks for running it. I lost my grandmother to multiple myeloma, blood cancer, and my cousin is a survival of Burkitt's lymphoma. So I'm happy to donate to help jam a sword into cancer's magic sigils. Good luck, Church Neo, and less than 3 to Tira Lira. Aw, less than 3 to you too. I wonder what that means.
Thank you so much for that generous donation.
Very much.
Yeah, that was incredible. All right, so next up is Phaedra. Phaedra is a big horse or llama. I'm not entirely sure.
Some people like to call him a dragon. That's weird, but cool.
The intended strat is really, really long. You have to lure him over to this hill into this bunker and make it lower its head down. Instead, we're gonna skip all of that by just
Missing his leg.
Missing his leg. Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Phaedra's known as the silent killer. People usually sleep on Phaedra, but sometimes Phaedra will ruin a run. But what you're just going to try to do here is he is going to try to jump onto his back leg. There you go. And then we're just going to do a lot of physics exploits and just get up its leg like that. There you go.
And fall off his leg again.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
The recovery's there.
Don't
The
worry.
recovery's there.
We're good. Oh,
There
all
you go.
right.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, we
there
got
you
it.
go.
We got it.
We're good.
Yeah.
I'm not used to any of that happening.
Yeah. Definitely in this game, there's a lot of just
Magnetization.
yeah. And
Well, a lot of randomness, basically.
Yeah.
It's basically a 3D platformer, so it's just a lot more complex, basically, with the trying to go through everything. And here you can see Phaedra had another weak point that if you just stab twice, he usually is supposed to lower his head, but we kind of just make our way up really fast if we want to. So
exactly, and then we got to its head, and you can actually just get a plant. If you play this game casually, you've probably gotten a plant on Phaedra's head before, because the plant spot is literally just its entire head.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about getting shaken or anything here. It's pretty easy to kill him once you get onto its head.
Yep. And here we have an instance of actually what we just call pixel health, where basically you just did not enough chip damage to the Colossus to get him to die, and all you have to do is just double tap a quick stab to get it done. If you do some extra damage onto the minor sigil on his neck, you wouldn't have to do that, but I mean, we're here to go fast, and so we like to get up as quickly as possible. So, yep, and that's Phaedra done.
Yep. We can get a quick donation in.
We've got $25 from ya boy Michael. saying good luck Church Neo on his run, and shout out to Vince on the couch from your friends at RSP.
Yeah. Thanks. That's one of my college roommates. So good to hear from you, Mike. Thanks, man. All righty.
So this next one here, it's Avion. It's the flying one. A lot of people recognize this from like a lot of media. It's been in movies and stuff. So if you want to go ahead and explain this for me so I can focus.
Yeah, so Avion is a pretty fun Colossus. It's the first like real big aerial Colossus that we're seeing that you're actually in the air riding this giant bird. It has 3 sigils, 1 on each wing and then 1 on the tail. There's 2 cycles you can get on Avion. The first, which we just call good pattern or good cycle, is if his right wing goes up, and then there's bad cycle if the right wing goes down. There's a pretty cool trick going on that Church will attempt that you may have tried in casual if you're feeling some risky business or something like that during any sort of casual playthrough. You can do this in both the PS2 version and any other iteration. So hopefully we get this. Church and I have a let's say
A
controversy. Agree to disagree on whether this is RNG or not, but it's just fun to kind of talk about sometimes. So yep, just making our way to that first sigil. Sadly, it didn't get good RNG. You can also see that Church there got himself out of plant by crawling a little bit. It's really important to do this here because if he would have gotten plant and then stayed in it throughout the roll, then he actually could have just fallen off. It's one of the few things that can get you out of plant.
Weird.
Scary moment here.
This is one instance of ridiculous sigil hitboxes. As you can see, the sigil isn't even on the screen right now.
Yep.
But it just extends so far up the tail.
Yep. So we try to exploit that as much as possible and just make good use of it. So with good cycle, you would actually just drop from the right wing all the way down to the sigil on the left wing. But here, it doesn't cost as much time to simply just run from the back of the tail and to kind of fling yourself back as Church did to walk yourself back up. So that's Avion. Nice. So yeah, 138 is a good time. Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad I did not fall off of Avion, because if I fell off of Avion, it would take me in like another minute to get back to him.
Yeah, it's really costly if you fall off Avion at any moment. Exactly. So yep. So this is a longer death cutscene, so we could probably get a couple donations in here. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. We've got $15 from Zik.
Yeah, Zik, my boy.
Saying, hey, Church and Couch, Zik here, from the previous world record holder who has been bopped by half the people on stream right now. Good luck on the run. Another $15 donation if you beat Pelagia first try.
Oh, okay. That's the run killer.
Yeah. That's the real run killer right there.
Thanks, Zik.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
We've got $50 from Oro61. Saying the Colossi did nothing wrong. Bible thump.
Yep.
All right, so next up is Barba. Barba is kind of similar to Valis in terms of it's like this bipedal Colossus. And what the intended strat is essentially you're supposed to lure it all the way across the other side of the room. It takes a long time. Instead, we're just going to have it stomp, get onto its hand, and hopefully be able to skip straight to its head. So we'll just see how Church does here. We'll get onto the bracelet here, go a little bit to the right, and run up his arm. Nice, fantastic,
good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, there's lots of physics abuse in this game, and basically no glitches that we do. So that's kind of a fun thing to point out is we're basically using everything that's built into the game already.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, this game's all AI manipulation and physics exploits. It's a lot of, it's very interesting to watch.
Yep.
Definitely.
So, let's see. Oh, I already got a back stick.
Yeah. So the last sigil is on his back. However, once you start getting onto his back, Barba does this animation. Sometimes they'll shake even again, like right now, and waste a lot of time. But okay, so once Church is on his back, once Barba actually starts that animation, Church is actually able to cancel the back shake animation before he even starts shaking.
Yeah.
So it doesn't become a problem anymore.
Yeah. So he was going for it there, but he got the stab in and got the kill. So great.
Exactly.
Good job.
Fantastic, Barba.
Yeah. And it's fun to watch these death animations sometimes because they'll just teleport you to where you're supposed to be. So now we're in the back end where you can see this like little Coliseum looking area where Barba is gonna like look down and you'll jump onto his beard for the intended strat.
Exactly.
So yeah.
You can probably get a quick donation done.
Mm-hmm.
We've got $20 from Apple Chips the video game, saying, donating during my friend Church Neo's run because he's great and so is GDQ. Not to mention, he has the best emo in all of Twitch, and I'm currently spamming it in chat.
Nice.
Put
Thanks
this
so much,
donation
Apple
towards Runner's Choice, unless it saved the animals.
Thank you.
All right, so just to get rolling here, next up is Hydrus. Hydrus is a giant eel, basically, in this lake. We've got a really good strat set up for this version, which basically you just count, you look at 1 on the timer, and then you head for that pillar to the top left, and then you stop at 8. It's a really, really, really hard strat. But it actually does take more. Once we got to wait for Hydrus to actually come up to us, and then there's a specific set of inputs of doing a jump stab, as well as kind of the direction you swim to make sure that his head comes out of the water and that you run up his neck in time so that you actually do get the skip.
Definitely look for the shake.
Yeah.
The shake is really important.
I didn't get
Yeah,
it.
so he didn't
get
get
the
yep.
shake.
Yeah, so basically didn't get on the neck in time here, and he tried to dive back down. Or if you don't get the shake, it'll look like you get it, and you're pretty excited for a moment, but kind of ruins the feel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very similar, somewhat similar strat to the PS2 version. You can kind of see like there's algae or leaves in the water. In the PS2 version,
Oh, I didn't even get him to aggro correctly.
Yeah, that was really bizarre. I
yeah,
haven't
it's
seen that
interesting.
before.
Yeah, that's.
I have never seen it before.
It's rare, but it does happen from time to time. But you would kind of eyeball where there's a certain spot where you could see like a specific leaf that you would go towards in the PS2 version to basically do the same exact
Didn't
strat.
do it again, apparently. This is interesting.
Yeah, Hydrus is definitely one of it. When I was learning the game, it was one of the last ones that I learned because it was extremely hard, and it's really hard to tell what you're doing wrong or what's causing things to go wrong.
Yeah, the timing is very simple, like I said, but overall, it can be very technical to make sure that you get the AI manip as you need. Overall, for the intended strat, basically each of those tendrils has a minor sigil on it that you would stab, so that basically, if you don't get the 1 cycle, which is very likely in the case that you don't do this trick, once you go up again, you don't have to worry about doing it each time. So let's see if we get it here. He's easy up on the neck. All right, got the
There
shake.
you go.
Okay, there we go.
Shook his head. And
Yep.
now,
Yep. Oh, this is weird though. Sometimes you'll get caught in between the minor sigil in the tendril and the actual sigil, and he won't bob his head. And so with each head bob, you do some damage. And dang. So here, Hydrus. What makes Hydrus annoying is that as soon as you kind of, you can see him slow crawling up. As soon as you kill the tendril, he'll start doing these odd head bobs. And they just make it really annoying to basically get it done quickly. So, yep, good Hydrus, good Hydrus. And we're generally not worried about the electric shocks because we are on normal mode, so there's almost no way it's going to kill us. I think Church Wander, the character, has almost half his health left. So this is a very extended cutscene, so we can probably get a few donations in here.
All right, let's see. We've got $10 from Game Jesters saying, "Good luck, Church, from all of us at the SOTC Speedrunning Discord. Don't get wrecked at Pelagia." Donation goes to Runner's
Oh,
Choice.
no. I'm already getting wrecked, and we haven't even reached Pelagia.
You're doing great, man.
We've got $100 from the True Anime Discord saying, "Church, we're all here and rooting for you. Your dedication over the last year has been intense. You've improved so much, and now you've made it to HEDQ. This run is going to be legendary. They couldn't have gotten a better runner, and we can't wait to see you again this summer." Lesson 3. Oh, and don't be afraid to ask for silence, too. The wind can make it hard to hear.
Thank you so much. Now everyone will know that I like anime.
It's okay, Church. You're not the only one.
it's fine.
Your secret's safe with me.
Yep.
All right, so this Colossus here is called Kuramori, and Kuramori essentially is a really nice break. Is really easy. All you have to do is you just whistle at the very beginning, and then that'll bait him to climb up the wall, and then you just shoot 2 quick arrows, and then he will fall. The only important thing here are cycle stabs, just to get the first sigil down pretty fast, but they're not entirely necessary. But I think Church will still go for him. Let's see if he gets him. Maybe a little bit too far to the left. No.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, no, it's fine though. He's extremely easy to kill. There There you go.
Nice. Yep. And you get stuck into plant for this second sigil, and we're gonna kill with a jump stab just because you don't have to worry about the charging up the stab or waiting for the pull-out animation to end. So.
Nice.
Yep. Very quick break. Very good. Great.
Yeah.
Great for Mori.
That one's very easy.
Yeah.
I bet if you spent like 20 minutes trying to learn that, you'd be able to do it.
Yeah. The biggest thing with the strat is that he stays on his back the longer, the higher up he is as you shoot him down. So basically, with us waiting for him to get to the top, you have more than enough time to complete the Colossus. Yep.
Quick donation.
This is actually probably. Well, I'm waiting for this for the load times, so dang, sorry. That's my fault, no.
It's okay,
All
I
right.
forgive you.
Yeah, so next up is Bassaran. Very interesting Colossus. The intended strat is a nightmare just because you really can't AI manip him because you have to like lure him over to these geysers to get him on his side, to get him on his back, to get on him, to get to the one sigil on his head. So we just skip all that. We just basically rush him as fast as we can, get on his leg. We do a quick jump here to basically get off, to stop the animation. There you go, yeah. So you jump up from the lower portion of the leg to the upper portion so that you don't get shaken off his leg, and that keeps us basically invincible for the portion where we just basically launch ourselves up to his head. So much faster and pretty cool looking strat overall, so very similar to Gaius. So.
Exactly. It's pretty straightforward from here, honestly. There's one place where he can try to get a plant. He just got it right here. So the plant here allows you to. It wastes about like 20 seconds or so if you let him shake you here. But he got the plant here, which is honestly kind of one of the hardest plants in the game.
Yeah, it's an extremely difficult plant to get, and even if you get it, you can get thrown out of it sometimes. But
Exactly.
yeah, that's a great Bassaran, and that's a really good time. So
That was fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to not mess up on Bassaran. That first jump is really, really hard. Probably the hardest strat I've had to learn for the game so far.
By far.
So,
By far.
Agreed. Yep. So definitely have time for a quick donation now.
How nice, thank you. We've got $25 from Jack N saying, I love SOTC with a passion and finally got a chance to play it last year. I'm absolutely stunned to see it jammed out so fast. I hope Church Neo doesn't fall off of Malice as many times as I did.
not worried about Malice exactly.
You've heard Pelagi a few times already.
But yeah, all right, so this one right here is Dirge. Dirge is one of the first Colossi you'll see that where there can be multiple cycles to try to kill it, and we are gonna try to get a one cycle, which involves a very, very precise stab. But first, we have to get him to hit against a wall. So what we got to do is shoot an arrow into its eye. You can actually shoot its eye through the sand here, so you might not even see its eye exposed from the sand when he shoots its eye. Yeah, like right there.
Perfect shot.
Perfect shot first try. So he's going to try to wrap around and then wait until Dirge hits the wall so that he can start stabbing the sigils. So what Church is going to do here is he is going to stab this, do a full stab, and then he's going to do like a quarter stab. I'm going to
get a little closer.
Focus.
I think that was right. It might have been a little bit too much.
We'll see.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
okay.
that was perfect.
This
That
will
was
be a
perfect.
one cycle.
So if you saw the sigil there disappear, then that means that he missed the one cycle and he'd be forced to do a second cycle.
Yep, and then Dirge would just run off basically if he got killed that sigil.
Exactly. So that was it's a very, very precise stab, like pixels. It's very, very hard, but perfect
Yep.
one cycle.
There we go. Yep, and what allows us to do that is you do a little bit, most of the time with arrows, as I explained with Gaius, you do some chip damage with your arrows, and so that's what allows us to not kill the first sigil and then only focus on the second sigil, which is kind of an extended theme through most of the Colossi, or at least a few of them is where we don't worry about one of the sigils, we just kind of get it to just enough to do the rest.
Exactly.
So, yep, maybe time for just a quick donation.
We've got $25 from Mass Miner saying, thank you for everything you do. Shadow of the Colossus is my favorite game and I have to donate for it. Take my darn money.
Gladly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, so next up we have Celosia. It's the first of the smaller Colossi. Relatively simple overall, but if you ever played Celosia casually, it's kind of a nightmare to figure out because you may have not thought to jump onto these pillars to the right. That's definitely what I did when I was younger, learning to play this game. But fairly simple, you're just gonna wait for Celosia to run into these pillars. He'll knock down a stick that's kind of an Easter egg to Team Ico's first game, Ico. that you're going to use to light on fire with one of the other pillars. And the strategy then is to just, the casual strat would be you kind of just wave the stick at Celosia to get him to back up into this edge here that would knock off his armor. And that's kind of slow because it takes a while for him to walk. So we just have Celosia charge us, we take out our sword, we grab it again, and then basically trick the AI into saying, oh, we have the sword, but he's running off the edge, so he should fall down. So
Nice.
Yep, so that's a good, good animation. Sometimes Celosia can knock you down to the lower level where Celosia is, and that's a little bit harder because getting on him can be a bit of a nightmare at that point. But jumping on him right here, Turk's got a plant, as you can see. He's trying to like wiggle his back, and he's being thrown around a little bit.
It's definitely a huge exaggeration of just how absurd plants are.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you're just wiggling around in the same position, but great.
Yeah,
great Celosia.
great Celosia. Yep. So. Pretty quick Colossus. Not much to say about him really at the end of the day. So definitely a quick donation here too.
We've got $25 from Shaddy, Marks, and Food Not Bombs, saying shout out to Leo, Grand Spaghetti on the couch. Good luck to church.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We've got $100 from Anonymous, saying love GDQ and love Shadow of the Colossus.
Thank you.
All right, so next up we have Pelagia, which is what all the donations say don't
Oh,
rub
boy.
on. I don't even want to talk about Pelagia. He has killed so many of my runs. It's kind of a pain, but Church is the most consistent person I know at Pelagia, so hopefully he will do well. The first
Put
thing
the
we do...
curse on me.
Yeah, exactly. No pressure, man.
Yeah.
So he shoots 2 arrows to get him to dip his nose down, and so he jumped on, and now he's already on his head. So for Pelagia, when you, obviously as you can see, you strike the teeth and it moves in that direction. It's kind of random how it moves. And so right now he's just waiting for Pelagia to start shooting his lasers. I'm not sure if Church here is gonna jump onto his nose or not. He will.
Nice.
Jumping onto his nose cancels the laser animation.
And forces him to jump up immediately.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Having a little bit of trouble here, but I think he'll be fine. So this is the Pelagia 1 cycle, which is what kills so many runs in this game. He's going to try to get a 100% stab, then like a 95% stab, and has to be exact.
He got it. Yep.
All right, I think he got it there. And then he has to get a 100% stab and another 100. Let's see if he gets it.
There it is.
Oh,
Good stuff.
first
Good
try.
Stuff. First try. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's huge there.
Yeah, that's huge.
Zick, I'm calling you out.
Yeah,
That's another $15, bud.
Yeah, no, dude, I need that money.
Yeah. What could be a little bit more stressful too is being on the sigil. You saw him kind of position himself along the top, like middle edge. You do want to be around that area because as you get flung around, you can't get plant on Pelagia's belly. So if you don't hit it correctly, you can actually just kind of get flung around and never get that 4th stab. So yeah, it's very vital.
Yeah,
So.
if you miss that 1 cycle, that could cost you about 2 minutes.
Yep.
And I think retrying it is actually faster than going for the 2 cycle.
Yep, certainly is. All right, so next up is, as some people may know, the chillest Colossus of all, Phalanx. We're going to predict now that top comment on this video is going to be, what did the Colossi do? And second is, what did Phalanx ever do? Just because all he does is kind of just fly around in the air, listening to Nice Little Sky Dragon, just minding his own business, and here you are, shooting arrows at him, trying to bring him down to the ground. So, we fire through arrows immediately from this kind of intro area. It's it actually is a lot easier than riding on Agro the horse to try and get him down. It's much more precise to shoot. You don't have to lead your arrows as you're riding and as Phalanx is moving. But from here, it's just a short ride over to, if you can see those front set of wings, they have like little ledges on them where Wander can grab onto, and you'll just kind of hop your way up to his back where it's all furry, and he has 3 major sigils up on his back. And for the first 2, we're gonna do a full stab. And oh, here we go. Okay, there you go. Nice.
Got it.
Yeah, it can be a little bit awkward there as you can kind of get thrown off in weird ways off Phalanx, and it just gets, if you get flown off him, it's just a nightmare.
That
getting
jump-
on him.
That was the scariest jump I've ever taken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was the YOLO jump.
Yep. And so for the first 2 major sigils, you're going to do a full stab, and then it's actually a lot easier than Pelagia because it's anywhere between like an 80 to like a 99% stab. You don't want to do a 100% stab because that'll actually do he'll do a barrel roll, and then if you aren't quick enough, he'll actually actually dive back into the ground, and you have to do the cycle all over again.
And his flaps will also close.
Yep, so-
you won't even be able to get to the sigils.
Exactly. So, yeah, this is a fun Colossus overall. My personal favorite, because you're just, flying around in the air on this, Sky Dragon, like I said, just, jumping all over the place and, free falling. So
Definitely the hardest part of this Colossus, though, is just getting onto him, like getting onto the wings. Definitely lots of runs have been lost just because of, you missed the jump. But the one cycle is actually very easy and something that you can definitely just do at home.
Yep. Yeah, I've definitely lost maybe 1 or 2 world record runs just to getting on Phalanx. So,
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
good Phalanx. Yeah.
I think we're going to have time for a few donations as well.
Yep.
Awesome. So we've got $15 from Good Vibes saying, instead of save the animals, maybe we save the Colossi?
There it
Except for Celosia. Kill him 3 times. Thanks.
I'll make sure to go back.
We've got time.
Excellent, thank you. We've got $20 from Captain N saying, greetings from Copenhagen, Denmark. It's 5:30 a.m. on my end, but I just had to stay awake to see my favorite game of all time being speedrunned. Thanks to all the speedrunners and staff that make this dark and gloomy January so much more cheerful every year with this event and for all the good you do in the fight against cancer. Have an awesome GDQ 2019.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so next up is going to be Cenobia. I always get Celosia and Cenobia mixed up, and they also look extremely similar. They're both dog-like colossi. So generally the intended strat for this guy is you're supposed to have him knock down, bait him into these pillars, knock him down, make a huge long bridge, chain of bridges, and then finally get to the last pillar, which will open up the arena where you're able to kill the Colossus. However, we're gonna skip all of that, and we are going to just go to the very last pillar that will kind of unlock the last arena where you're able to kill Cenobia. So right here, we're gonna go for a strat called Kaze Jump. You can kind of see how magnetic the Wanderer's hands are, right there. Fantastic Kaze Jump, by the way, great first try. And that you're definitely not intended to do that. But this will allow us to get to the final pillar, which is that big cylindrical pillar right there. Nice, good jump. And so now he's just gonna shoot arrows at Cenobia at this point to get him to hit the pillar one more time, and then it'll unlock the next area where we'll be able to kill the Colossus.
Yeah, that magnetization is a big mechanic in the game, just
Yeah.
because if you only had your arms reach to grab all the fur on the Colossus, it's pretty obnoxious.
Exactly.
So we like to abuse it.
During this cutscene, you're actually able to move, so use the momentum of the falling pillar to kind of launch himself a bit further to get where he needs to get to. And so right here, his last objective is to essentially have Cenobia just ram into this platform right here. And so he needs to just shoot some arrows, and then Cenobia will ram into the pillar, and then it'll break off the armor on his back, which is where the sigil will be. So Church preemptively jumps onto this platform to set himself up for a plant.
Which we hope we get. Cenobia can be a little bit tedious with your positioning, and you want to be closer to his back,
Exactly.
or farther down his back, basically, to be able to get the plant.
Exactly.
And you can show off how ridiculous the shakes are here if he gets it.
Blind jump. Is this a plant? No. He lost the plant. So now he has to kind of frantically grab and re-grab and hope to get the plant. And he got it.
Yeah,
there.
got it back. So
Nice.
yeah. And you can
Fantastic plant.
see Cenobia just flailing around, and Wander doesn't care. So.
Exactly. Because you get this plant and you keep on stabbing, Cenobia usually runs, but he won't now.
Yeah.
Because of the plant. Yeah, fantastic Cenobia.
Awesome. Good recovery. Yeah, and one thing I spoke on earlier actually was re-getting plant. In that case, or at least in most cases, the easiest way to get plant back if you're not in proper positioning or you are in the right area but don't get it is simply just to let go and re-grab. And you can actually generally see Wander will do a different animation for each. If you don't get it, he might just snap back down, or you might do some sort of weird falling animation. But if he kind of slowly goes back down to grab, then that's how you know you've generally gotten plant. So, yep. All right. I think it's time for one quick donation.
We've got $15 from Zik again, saying,
Here.
hey guys, I'm back. Nice work on that Pelagia, Church. As promised, here's that $15 for the first try.
Nice. All right. So to get in quick, but now we have Argus. Argus is a very tedious Colossi casualty. The puzzle is pretty complex. You basically climb up this entire arena to basically get this sword out of his hand. We don't care about that. We're just gonna kind of jump along his leg and kind of get onto the fur of his hand where there's one sigil.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly.
No,
Yeah.
not that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yep.
so yeah, the sigil is underneath the sword, and it takes forever to get the sword out of his hand. However, there's a small patch that we are able to grab onto
Yep.
and preemptively stab it.
Yep.
So before, what we used to do was we used to go to his head first and then to his hand, but nice, fantastic hand grab. And he makes it. All right, I actually do want people to watch this launch. This is one of the last physics exploits of the game, I'd have to say, and it's really cool to watch. And nice.
Good launch up to the head. Good launch.
Good launch.
Yeah. So in the PS2 version, you would actually try and launch from his belt, but basically with this exploit, it's much easier to launch from his leg. And as Spaghetti said, we actually used to go to the head first,
Yeah.
and then we would, that same animation he just did, we would bait that out to be able to jump from the hand from the back, but that's extremely inconsistent and really hard to do. And basically with jumping to the, which is actually, this is basically the IL strat that we're using, jumping to the hand first is much more consistent and much easier to not lose time on when you reset. So,
Fantastic Argus.
yeah, great Argus.
One reset is great.
Yeah. Yeah. And also in the PS2 version, you could actually, if you went to the head first, there's a minor sigil on his arm that would let go of the sword. But the developers who remade the game actually made it a checkpoint that you have to go through the normal puzzle to do. So
Exactly.
Yeah. So
And that takes a while. It takes a minute and a half, maybe
2 to 3 minutes, basically. Yeah. It takes a long time. So, all right. Already on the last Colossus, man. We were just blazing through this.
I know. So last but not least is Malice, which is this big tower dude that you have to scale. He's definitely, I think, the biggest Colossus to scale, right?
I think Phalanx may be the biggest Colossus overall, but he is definitely one of the biggest. Yeah.
So the first half of this fight is essentially you have to dodge these lasers that he shoot at you. Now, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go into these pits and to take cover from these lasers, but instead Church has this very specific path and actually very specific movement and very specific inputs that he's putting in right now to just basically dodge all of these laser beams, which is ridiculous. And now he's basically home clear. But yeah, it looked easy. It looked like he was just running, he was just running and doing whatever. But it was actually very, very specific, his pathing there.
Yep.
And yeah, and now he should be home clear. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we're in the clear now. Not 100% pitless. It's kind of a little bit finicky to do. You can run up to the base of his tower, but most of us don't do that consistently, just because it's not as true to form as it may seem. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, great run up. And so we've got this last little zoom in cutscene that Church has shown us a close up of Malice, and we're just gonna climb his little Scottish kilt and make our way up. And there's one last little physics exploit actually that we also do here to get to his head. The last puzzle of the game really is kind of just doing the Macarena with Malice. You're shooting him on the shoulders and stuff and trying to get him to, get you to a certain spot to eventually get up to his shoulder to get to his head. But that's too much time. We don't like dancing that much. So we're just gonna shoot him in the shoulder and jump on his hand and, make it real quick. So this arrow is the last arrow of the game, and
Nice.
that's perfect.
First try?
Yeah, first try.
That's
yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, that can be pretty annoying because it seems like you're hitting him in the shoulder, but just the fur kind of has enough area to it that you can't really see it. Jumped a little bit early,
That's
but
fine. You just gotta when he turns his hand here.
You can
can he make it?
Can
I think.
I'll try it.
oh
No.
that's all right.
That's fine.
Yeah, you can just go back down and shoot another arrow again. It's
Exactly.
not the fastest, but I mean it's not the worst.
It's not the end of the world. It's not that big of a time loss
right here?
either.
No, it's the other side.
This other side.
Oh, okay.
You see, sometimes when things go wrong, it's a little. You get a little turned around,
Left.
Honestly, the best
No,
of us.
go up again and then left side of this section.
Clearly, I've never had this happen to me.
Yeah, so go more to the
happened
left.
before.
You're going right.
That's
bud.
to the right, buddy.
Oh wait,
Oh no.
directions, man. Directions.
You know?
3D platforming. It's great.
All right.
There you go. Now we're here. Now we're
Okay.
back.
Okay,
All right,
yeah, this looks familiar to me now.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Round 2. There we go. There.
Hey.
All right.
2 arrows.
Second try.
Second
It's all
try.
good.
Yeah, jumped the gun a little bit the first time around, but no big
Yeah.
deal. again, that arrow just allows his arm, or it causes the animation for his arms to go down, and then, yeah, got it
There
this
we go.
time. So
There
we're just
we
gonna
go.
grab onto this bracer and then just do this little skirt jump over to his head, and you can see Malice is kind of like,
There we
whoa,
go.
how'd you get here,
Let's
bud? But, yep.
Yeah. And then just one easy plant right here, and then we should be good. Time will be when the death cutscene starts. And so we'll just let you know when that
Yeah, I'll
happens.
go ahead and call it.
Yeah, and it gets the plant, so it's just easy. He just has to press the stab button.
Yeah. Short and sweet.
And
Time.
Nice. Great run, Church. Good run.
Thanks. Thank you. So yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and do a couple shout outs. I want to shout out the Shadow of the Colossus community. We have a Discord. If you watched the run or were interested before the run and wanted to run the game, all of us here on the couch are very helpful. And there are plenty others. We have a really thriving individual level scene. So that's something a lot of people like to do with the game. And yeah, that was Shadow of the Colossus 2018. Thank you for watching.
And thank you for running Shadow of the Colossus for us, Church Neo. That was wonderful. We've got a bunch of donations about Shadow of the Colossus here. So let's see. We have $250 from Anonymous saying, Shadow of the Colossus is my favorite game of all time. It is so beautiful, especially when it's played so well. Thanks, GDQ, for everything you do. We've got $25 from Chibishala saying, highly impressed of Church's amazingly rapid Colossus takedowns. They leave me breathless. Great job and awesome event as always. We've got $16 from Jesse H. Creative saying $16 for 16 Colossi. Fantastic run so far. Shout outs to the best bird, Avion. So as a reminder, our next run is God of War 2 by Ragnall GOW. Looks like they're setting that up right now. So while they do so, here's some more information about our excellent sponsors. Team Meat presents Super Meat Boy Forever, the sequel to the 2010 hit game Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy Forever will be available for our Epic Game Store, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch in 2019. Blood Trail, Blood Trail, Blood Trail. We've got $20 from Ian99 saying, I love AGDQ, its community, and what it accomplishes, especially for this case as my dad is currently dealing with cancer. So in his honor, I'm happy to donate. Huge thanks to all the runners, announcers, behind the sceners, and folks in chat. Thank you to you as well, Ian99. Every bit counts. Remember that. We have $100 from Hookshot4 saying, thank you for everything you do every year. So while we're waiting for setup here, I'd like to ask Twitch chat a very important question. Should the Colossi be saved? I'm seeing a lot of yeses in Twitch chat. A couple no's. Is that an I saw? We've got $100 from Delmiac, saying had to offer my bi-yearly donation to the cause of both cancer prevention and speedrunning. We've got a donation for $100 from Papa Boccioni with no comment. Thank you. We've got $50 donated by Cindios, saying, thank you all for the work you do to bring all of us together. It's great to see human problems being fixed by human hands. To my wife, I love you, Blue Dreamer. Oh, that's so sweet. We've got $30 from Peachy109 saying, longtime viewer and first-time donator. I didn't want my first donation to be like this, but this year it's personal. Last Thursday, my dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer, but thanks to early detection, his prognosis is excellent. Donation is going to the rematch with Agent 3. We've got $250 from Patricia Somerset with no comment. Thank you so much, Patricia.